What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Cyrus Obsidian here at Obsidian Games, here to bring you another local diary. So this local diaries is a little bit unexpected and was a little unplanned, but this morning we got a text from our local card shop, Duke City Games, that they were opening up a new store and they were wanting to host their very first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament at that store today. So we scrounged together a deck and we went over to Duke City because after our playing of last night, we thought, well, I think we're taking a break from Vanquish Soul, so we decided to put something else to the challenge. And so one of those decks that I have been working on building and I've had built, but we've been missing a couple pieces, decided to take a chance on it. So we took Scareclaw Kashtira, which I think we have played before. We have played Scareclaw before as Adventure Scareclaw, and I think we did play Scareclaw Adventure 1 or Scareclaw Kashtira once, and it didn't turn out too bad. But we have made some subtle improvements on the deck since then, and we took them to locals today. So for today, it was a very short locals, as you know, the store did just open up. It didn't really get good announcements out, but they are going to be doing better on that. We only did play 2 rounds, but of the 2 rounds, we were able to sweep. So round 1, we play against Fish or Umi Control. And honestly, it was a really good match. My opponent was very great. Game 1, we were just able to solidify a board and he couldn't break through it. Game 2, I had the right hand traps that put him in check, and then we were able to crack his board, take control of tempo, and then just burn him for game, because we can do that. Round 2, we play against Goblin Biker, which we played against the same player that we played against Vanquish Soul, where we did burn him for game. They opened up first, they were able to set up their board, and we again just came in and hand trapped, cracked the board, and we were able to take control of the tempo, and we were able to take game. Thankfully, since we have an interesting tech choice in Typhon in the deck, we were able to use Typhon to control him, or not control him, but control the tempo of the game. And since he couldn't get over Typhon's ability or Typhon himself, we were able to take the game 1 win. Going in game 2 though, he sets up his board. We had just the right hand traps in our hand. We had a plethora of them, so we weren't too worried about how we were going to open and what we were going to do. We were able to control the tempo again. We were able to crack his board, slap Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon on the board, and we were able to take the burn again for the win. It's going undefeated at this new store, which was really cool, really exciting. And honestly, it was just a fun day overall, even though it was just 2 rounds. So let me show you the deck profile that we worked with today. And after that, I think I might gonna make some changes. So the profile might change the next time I use it, but we don't know. The deck is still in its early stages. We didn't really get a good testing of it. Even though we did get 2 rounds worth, 4 games worth of testing, there are still some things that I would like to push it against to see how well it'll do. So without further ado, let me show you the deck profile. All right, so let me show you our Scareclaw profile that we are playing, or that we did play today. So we got new sleeves. Honestly, it feels really great to be playing in new sleeves. But to start off, we are playing 3 copies of Scareclaw Reichheart, as he's kind of just the bread and butter of it. We are also playing 2 Acro, 2 Astra, and 1 Balone, just to have like the base Scareclaw names. To be fair, this only ever came up in one of the games, where opening one of these was really key to get my combo going. But outside of that, like, I really didn't need it, and so I'm thinking of dropping it. We also did play 2 Visa Samsaras with 2 Visa Starfrost, which again, I do need a 3rd Visa Samsara, so I'm hoping to pick that up soon. Starfrost, really thinking of dropping it to 1, but I think 2 is a solid choice to keep playing it at. Otherwise, like, I think this is a really good start, especially like with names for Scareclaw. And as you'll see, like this really isn't the traditional Scareclaw build. We also do follow it with 3 Arrival, 2 Planets, 1 Defanging, and 1 Twin Saw. So again, these guys didn't come up. I wish There was one duel against the Goblin Biker where I really wish I had put this up to make my Scareclaws, or at least the Scareclaw in the extra monster zone, unaffected. And I goofed, didn't, and he was able to yoink it for Xyz material. And it wasn't try heart, it was just a light heart, so. But we were able to take a game, so it doesn't matter. But I wish I had played that earlier, but in the other 3 games, they really didn't come up, so hopefully we'll get another testing in our next locals where we can see how well this build does. But yeah, like, I think there's potential for it to grow still. So like, as this engine is, you know, the Scareclaw engine, we can call it, you know, it's really good at what it can do. I am really hoping to make changes to it, so like having 3 Samsara with the 3 Reichardt, possibly changing the little boys out for either more hand traps or just more cards that help me solidify my board just a little bit better, but we'll see. And then going into the Kashtira side of things, we are playing 3 copies of Kashtira Fenrir with 3 copies of Kashtira Unicorn. These guys were the bread and butter, and they will really help solidify games today, along with 2 copies of Scareclaw Kashtira. I think playing it at 2 is really solid. There is no need for a 3rd, just because you open up 3, you don't open up a name to banish, then you're kind of screwed at that point. So I think 2 is a really good starting point. And then we play 2 Birth with 1 Theosis. So my thought process behind playing just the 1 Theosis is that Unicorn can search it and you really don't need to open it. Also, we are wanting to set up a Link presence rather than an Xyz presence, so that's why I think 1 Theosis is just solid enough. You don't really need to follow up with more. Same thing with Birth. 2 is good enough. You don't really need any more. And then the last bit is hand traps. We're playing 3 Ash, 3 Veilers, 3 Imperm, and then the 1 Called By, which I might drop the Called By as well. This deck is susceptible to being hand trapped, but honestly, with this being a mid-range control, much like how Vanquishal is a little bit, this also can be combo, so don't get me wrong. But playing it like this, you have a little bit more flexibility in how you control the tempo of the game, so it adds just a little bit more to the richness of playing the deck. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to our extra deck. This hasn't changed since the last time I probably played the deck. We're still playing 2 Vicious Astrolaud because I think it's really good. We are playing 1 Borreload Savage and 1 Baron de Fleur for synchros. I think, you know, there are times where you can go into a Synchro 8 and a Synchro 10. Visas and Reichardt is really good. The Samsara and Reichardt for Borreload Savage is also really good. Otherwise, like, most of this extra deck is Link based. So those are really the only synchros that we really go into. If you guys do follow the Kali effect, he has a really good list that I think is really great. But this one plays a little bit more on a budget side, as we don't have the SP Little Knights. The Chaos cards I do have, unfortunately, they are in storage, out of state. So I'm not able to play that little package that he did, which was really cool. But this is also really good. Oh, and Chaos Angel. I guess it's another one. I don't have Chaos Angel anymore, so I flipped that before the ulti, so we made our monies back. But anyways, that's aside the point. We do play for Xyz, Harmonizer Gradiel, Red Eyes Flare Metal, and then Typhon. Typhon and Metal really carried the deck today. I have also been thinking about adding in the Rise Heart in the main deck, so that way there is more Xyz plays that are available to us. But for now, I think we'll just leave it out and we'll see where it goes, because we do typically want to search the Scareclaw Kashtira or the Unicorn. Typically the Scareclaw Kashtira, because that allows for the Scareclaw engine to really pop off. But I think for these as Xyz, that is all that you really need for the deck to play. And then the rest are links. So we're playing 2 Lightheart, because you play 2 Field Spell, you just need 2 Lightheart. We're playing 1 Barricade Board Blocker, so that way we can recycle our Field Spell back into our hand. If we did have Ratesoth, that would also be helpful too, but we don't have Ratesoth. Waiting for that reprint. We also play 1 Cross Sheep, because we do go into the Astrolaud and we can't go into Synchros, so we do a fair bit of comboing. And then we played one Donner Dagger. I thought about going into Donner early today, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. So Donner's really a flex spot for me at this point. And then we do play triple Tryhard, which that might change if we do get rid of the little dogs out of the main deck. So that's it for the extra deck. And then as for our side deck was really diverse and it really came in clutch too. We are playing 3 copies of Nibiru because, you know, keeps combo decks in check. 3 copies of Ghost Spell, which we sided in but never actually used. Against Goblin Biker would have been really good. And then 3 Droll. Again, playing Droll was super helpful, really helped solidify the hand trap lineup that I was playing. Wish I was playing it in Vanquished the previous night, but we have learned. So that's it for hand traps. We do play 1 Duster with 2 Cyclone. I think maybe going 3 Cyclone might be a little bit better, but we left the Duster in as it is. And then triple copies of Evenly, because, you know, some decks just don't respect Evenly. So we decided to go with Evenly since it works out. Never did side in any of these cards, so that's info for you, I guess, but they also would have been good to just have had as well. So, but that is my profile and just like my respective view on locals, which again was really fun. The store just opened up, so we'll be looking forward to going to there more often. So that way we kind of go back into a rotation of 2 locals. It'll be the same shop, same ownership, so same pricings and whatnot, and maybe even the same people too. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens going forward with that locals. But that's it for this surprise local diaries that we weren't planning, but we did have. So remember guys, like, comment, subscribe, keep on coming back. We are going to have more content coming to you shortly. And today was just fun. It was a spur of the moment kind of thing. And also, since it was a spur of the moment kind of thing, the store was giving away a commemorative pin since they just opened up. And I gotta say, it's a cool little pin. It says Duke City Games there, and it's in a logo for the college that's here. But that's it. We'll catch you in the next one.